Libra. Libra moon. Moon in Libra. What does that mean? It means somebody, when they get, hurt in their emotions, right? They get to be a little judgmental. They also start to think about, they like to point fingers at people when they're judgmental, right? You are not, a person I want to associate with. They'll say stuff like that. You know, I like my people being like this, you know, more like this, more like that. But then you'll see them later and they'll be, fucking with somebody who actually ain't like that, because this person knows how to talk to and basically has the ability to talk to, anyone if they felt like it, but they, do shit like that and they'll tell their people that they, care about. If those people hurt them, they'll be like, well, you ain't somebody that I, really, love to be around or care to talk to anyways. There's a whole bunch of other people out here and you actually don't even follow, the rules that I set. Me being a, more um, logical, smart person, right? I don't like that you hang around these people. These people are this way or that way, and I don't associate with that. Now you're a bad guy. Now you're a person that's, no good to me because you wanted to hang around those people. And I told you before that it's like this, and we believe in these ideas together, not those ideas. You're with the enemy. I cast judgment upon you. How dare you do shit like that? Betray my trust, betray, what we have going on. I thought we had agreements and understandings with each other. But now you want to do shit like that. So now it will make you look bad in front of other people. They like to do shit like that. And they have the ability to do this too because they have a way of talking that is, oh, wow, this person, why would anybody, do something to this person? He or she talks to, he or she, does this for, people. How dare they do that to you? And they have a way of getting people on their side, through conversation too, when things don't go their way. That's how it might play out in a negative way. But in a positive way, right, this moon sign, right, is a wind sign, right? So they know what's going around town. They know what people are saying about other people. And they may feel bad, knowing certain things, but like keeping secrets for other people too. So like, I don't want you to tell this person this, but I think they're, not the best at this, or I don't like them because of this. But don't tell them that, and they have to, carry that with them. Sometimes it bothers them, sometimes it don't. But when it bothers them, it bothers them. And they're like, damn, I wish I could just tell that person, what I know or what I know somebody to say to me, just out of, I want to get that off of my mind, off my chest. I don't want to see that person, wondering, how somebody feels about them when I know what, they told me. They told me this, you know, then it's up to that person to, figure their relationship out with those people. But, as a person who likes to be around people and talk to people, you might, not like people who are more reserved. You like people to tell you things, tell you how they feel, tell you about their goals and what they want to accomplish, so then that you can also be one to, help out with that, okay, well, you want to do this. I know these people and these people. Sure, I can help you out, and they like to do that for the people they really care about, not just everybody, right? Sometimes they just get that feeling, in their mind or in their heart, and they're like, man, I can't let this person go through this. I want to help them out. These people are, peaceful, peacekeepers, calm, cool, gracious individuals. When it's, a positive thing. When it's a negative thing, they can be very judgmental and cast judgment upon people. You are not doing this. I associate with these people and they do this. You are not with that. So by association, you are now deemed a negative person in my eyes. You are now deemed a, threat. You're deemed a, whatever, whatever negative thing they come up with, and they do that to, try to keep themselves sane. But like I tell you, sometimes they don't even mean that too, because remember, you know, you might have just hurt their feelings, and then they find somebody else who's just like you, and then you're like, wait, but you're fucking with somebody who's, similar to me, and you're saying that you don't accept those type of people, and they're like, oh well, I actually meant just you. They'll end up saying some shit like that. I just don't like you, but I said that to, because they get emotional and shit. They fuck around that way. When they're negative, they try to get too judgmental, and cast judgment upon other people. You don't have this together. You don't seem to be a person of, good, whatever, good character. Now get the finger. I'm pointing at you and I'm saying that you are this, you are excrement, you are this, you are that. When they get in their feelings, they get triggered by certain words you have said, towards them, about them or about their, friends, other friends they care about. These people love to, cooperate, you know, when they can, but they also, like I said, they have their own way of thinking too, you know. They have a way of getting people on their side in positive and negative ways. But, try not to be so judgmental to people. If you don't like that person, just let it be, and, find the ones who you do like, and talk amongst them, and be whatever, you know, and stay cool that way. Don't spread lies about people. Don't, cause problems just so you think you'll feel better from that. You might not feel better from it. So be cool on the corner. Libra moons.